Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. So I bet you can't guess what we're doing today. Today is a really exciting episode actually. I've got some really cool stuff to show you. And of course, it's return of the white roof. So we're going to paint the roof on the racing green. As you can see, it come out pretty well. But stay tuned, watch the video because it didn't all go to plan. It was a little bit tricky. And I've also got some other really cool stuff to show you. So the first bit I mentioned last week's episode, I had sent my wheel off to Elliot Price at Retro Retrim, and I've got to say, wow, just it looks absolutely amazing. I am really pleased with how it come out. Like I said in last week's episode, the red stitching on the inside, it's a personal choice for me, but I think it just goes really well with the centre cap of the wheel. And that is an original Mota Lita steering wheel signed by John Cooper. They are very rare. That is just going to look absolutely fantastic. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Did it come out well? Am I worried about the red stitching? I'll make sure my hands are kept clean whenever I drive the car. To be honest, on the PL, I've got a beige cream coloured gear knob and steering wheel, so I always make sure my hands are clean when I'm driving the car anyway. So thanks, Elliot. I am super pleased with that wheel. And if you want to get it done, get your wheel done, Elliot does gear levers, handbrakes, steering wheels. Just if you've got something in leather and you want it recovered, I guess drop him a message on Facebook and he'll probably let you know whether he can do it. But that is really cool. Really pleased. So the next exciting part is stickers. I haven't had some stickers for absolutely ages, and I've gone out and got some stickers made now. And they look really cool. So they are 10 centimetres in diameter. Classic Mini Workshop, and I was trying to work out the easiest way to make these available because I've done them before and I've put them in the description and people have paid me through PayPal. It's just a bit of a faff doing that and I lose track of it. So what I've done is I've put a listing on eBay. So if you want to buy one of these stickers, go onto the eBay listing. I've put them on for £2.50, but if you buy more than one, you get a 25% discount and you get the postage on the second one for free. So I think it works out about £4.50 for 2 stickers or something like that. Might even be less than that. But anyway, they're great value. I'm pretty much selling them for what it cost me to get them to be made. And I'm pretty sure it will ship worldwide as well. I think it's £2 postage worldwide, but have a look. Should be able to get them wherever you want to get them around the world. They look really cool. I'll put in a clip maybe of some just the stickers on PL. So I think that's about it. Trying to think what else we got in this week's episode. I don't know, but just stay tuned. It's a really exciting one. Thanks for tuning back in. Hope you enjoy this week's episode. And doesn't it look great to have the white roof back on there? Catch you again on the next one. Right, so we started on the roof. Let's get it back to that famous the white roof returns, because this racing green would have had a white roof on it originally, but then at some point in its life it's been painted British racing green on the roof. So as you can see, as I'm starting to DA, we're getting the white underneath. There's a few areas I've rubbed through, but basically all I'm doing at the moment, I think I've got a 320 pad, it might even be a 240, can't remember. I'm DAing the whole of the roof off. I'm not going back to bare metal. I'm gonna fill a primer, etch and fill a primer anywhere where it's gone through. But the idea, and I'm no expert on this, I'm gonna key the whole lot up and then I'm gonna fill a prime the whole roof before painting it. So at the moment, I mean, it's very dusty. At the moment, I'm just going through with the first pass. What I would say is this roof was not painted very well. So there was loads of imperfections, orange peel in it, and it's actually quite handy when you're DAing it back because you can see where the orange peel is and it's almost like a guide coat. So I'm DAing it back so there's no orange peel and anywhere where there were marks, there's a few bits of like spider rust up here. I'm going to go back to bare metal and then etch prime. So it's a long, boring and laborious task. It's noisy. Although I've got the extractor on there, it's relatively clean. But as you can see, I've got all the car sort of masked up so I don't get any crud inside. And then the next step will be, once I've DA'd this off, will be to get PL out the garage. I've got loads and loads of cardboard boxes that I've been collecting up over the last year or so, and that's going to be what's going to go on the floor so we don't get overspray everywhere. And at the moment, 13.8 degrees today. This weekend I think it's going to be quite warm. They're talking about 17, 18 degrees on a Monday, so it might be ideal for spraying. But initially I'm just going to get it prepped up, then I'll have a look at the weather forecast and make a call on whether I'm going to spray it now or leave it for another weekend. Right, that's all DA'd back and prepped now. I've just given it a wipe over with degreaser. Obviously I'll have to do it again. Next I've got to sort out the workshop, so I need to get all the floors covered out, which means I've got to get that car out. Now, if you've recently subscribed to the channel and not seen it before, you might not know what's under there. So we'll cut to a bit of time lapse and get it uncovered. I did just check the weather forecast. What I said a moment ago was complete rubbish. It's going to rain tomorrow and it's only going to be about 12 degrees. So I just want to get on with this and get it done now. I've been out here in a bit, it's already up to 14.4. If I put some heaters in, we'll be okay. So let's get this car uncovered, get it out of the workshop, and then I can start getting tidied up in here. So there we go, under the cover is my Rover John Cooper Sport 5, a very, very rare car, 5-speed gearbox, with the SI John Cooper conversion as well, done at John Cooper's as well, so it was done from brand new. So it's not run for, I guess, probably 7 months or something like that. So we are going to crank it over with the ignition disconnected until we get oil pressure. We're going to reconnect the battery first, of course. Once we've got oil pressure, we'll connect the coil back up, give it a crank, and hopefully it will start on the button. Let's give it a try. Right, well, I can't believe it. I've only got myself to blame. I didn't disconnect the battery over the winter. So I've probably killed that battery now because it's completely dead. But we've got the booster pack on it. Let's see if we get some oil pressure. Oil lights on, the coil's disconnected. It usually takes a couple of attempts. Just give the starter motor a bit of a rest in between. There we go, you could see the oil light went out and the engine note changes a little bit as it starts pumping the oil around the engine. So we connect the coil up now and see if we can get it started. Right, so coil connected back up. This is genuine first start. It is going to absolutely cough and splutter a bit because we've cranked it over with the coil disconnected, but I didn't disconnect the fuel system, so it would have flooded it with fuel a little bit. Not too worried about that. It will just probably cough and splutter a little bit. Oil lights out. That is not bad, having not been started for, I think it's probably 7-8 months. Let's get it out the garage now. There we go, apart from being a bit dusty, it's fine. Do love the sound of the exhaust on this one. But I do think I probably killed that battery. I'll have to get it on the Noco. Was it Noco? I can't remember. I've got like a smart battery charger anyway that does repair, so it will be sulfated if the battery's been left to go flat. Hopefully no hanger rash on here. I'm just looking at a few marks around here actually. No, they're fine. Yeah, looking fine. Let's get tidied up. Right, so that's our roof all done with filler primer now. I think it went on okay. I just used a cheap spray gun to spray it with a 1.7 tip. The instructions say 1.6 to 2mm tip. There's a bug in there, but that'll be fine. That'll DA out, and I'm going to DA it with 600, and I'm going to do it dry. Filler or primer filler. Primer is porous. It will absorb water, so I don't want to wet and dry. I want to do it dry. And it's had a good probably 14 hours in here. Now ideally the drying time is 4 hours, but it's 4 hours at 20 degrees and we are 13 degrees, so it's much cooler. So it's probably had 2 or 3 times as long as it needs to dry, and I've had the dehumidifier on going as well, so there's no dampness in the air. So we'll get that DA'd off and then it'll be ready for the base coat. Right, well that's 2 coats of the base coat on now. It went okay. I'm always learning when I'm spraying. This is going to be base and lacquer, so you'll notice it's a dull finish, and that's just because it's a base coat. It will be lacquered over the top, and the lacquer will obviously bring out the shine. And I had a couple of areas where I had small runs, and I thought I'd just whack a bit more paint on it, and sometimes you can get the run to run out of it. So the run was sort of up here, and I sort of sprayed a bit more on, and it's come down, but it's left sag marks in there. I should have just left it. There's a couple of little, there's a sag there, sag there, sag there. So yeah, a little bit annoying because the rest of it looks perfectly okay, and I've got the same along the front here. I've just put too much paint on. That's what I've done, and I didn't need to put much paint on. I was treating it like it was gloss, so I'd done sort of a tack coat to begin with, and then I laid it on thick, and I laid it on too thick. I probably didn't need to do that because it's base coat and lacquer. I think with the base you can get a lot along with. It doesn't have to be perfect because obviously the lacquer brings out the gloss in it. So I'm going to give that half an hour or so to dry now, and then we're going to try and gently wet flat it. I've just got enough paint left, hopefully, to give these areas a quick flick over, and then hopefully we'll be good. So there we go. The white roof returns. Let's turn around and have a look at it. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I don't know how it's going to look on camera. I should imagine it looks absolutely amazing. I'm really, really pleased with it. There's a few little bits of dirt in it. As I'm looking around now, where do the flies come from? I never usually notice them, but they're hovering around. But the finish on it, there's hardly any orange peel. I've had 3 coats of, probably 3.5 coats of lacquer on that. And it's looking really good. There's a couple of bits, I can just notice some bits in the middle, but honestly, I'm super, super pleased. There's some areas where I messed up, so I've got a bit of an imperfection down right at the very front here, where I just caught the paint. There was a bit of a run there, but I think once the trim is on, you're probably not going to see that. These areas where I had sags, they look absolutely fine now. The only sag that is left there is that one right at the bottom there, but again, I think once the trim is on, that's not going to be a problem at all. And I could have waited. The problem is, to get that sag out, I'd have had to wait for probably a couple of weeks before doing the lacquer, because I'd have had to let that paint fully dry. So like I say, really, really pleased. I've just got to keep it all clean and protect it now, make sure it doesn't get scratched up in the garage.